All right, so back, we just played a segment for with Digging History on Scary Creek, the Battle of Scary Creek. Some of the things that I had found over the weekend. Doesn't look like a lot, but boy, if you could see the backpack of junk that I carried down. I guess the one thing that I've become very cognizant of or understand very well is the problem with littering. Littering is not something that is just being done now. Littering has been done for many years. Uh, I'm going to tell you that I find garbage that actually turns out to be pretty good garbage, that from the 1800s. So when one man's trash or one woman's trash is another person's treasure. There you go. So, and I don't want to leave out the ladies in this. There's a lot of women out there that are metal detecting right now. And I'm going to tell you something. They're crushing it, man. They're finding stuff. I've got one lady from Victoria from down in North Carolina. She is crushing it. She's finding all kinds of stuff out there, which is really cool. I found a bayonet, Revolutionary War era bayonet. How cool is that? So, and also a veteran too. So that even makes it twice as cool. So here we are in Mason County again, Point Pleasant in particular. Now, you go to these parks and you think, well, it's a park. It's probably not going to produce much. But let me tell you, that is not true. I have found a lot of stuff, really cool stuff, in and around these parks. So, the first thing that I found in Mason County that I took a picture of was this really old bottle. Now, it's got a crack in it, but I'm going to display it, I think, like this in the case, or I may display it like this, where you can read the Porter's. So it says Porter's Pain King. This is from the 1920s. This obviously had a cork in it, and if you do some research on it, it had a label on there, a really cool 1920s label. And we thought about, at one time we were talking about where we make some sorghum and stuff, was to start packing sorghum in these and selling it like this. But I don't know if we're going to do that or not. But this is a cool bottle, and it's got that pink tint to it, so it is an old hand-blown bottle. Beautiful, fine, totally intact. Got the little crack in it. Not trying to hide that. It's there. But it's still a great piece of history. People, this had like 68% alcohol in it, so I guess you would drink it and you would feel pretty good. It was made in Piqua, Ohio, and that's ironic because actually I commanded a National Guard unit who had a detachment in Piqua, Ohio, so that was really cool to find that. The other thing, so I found this ring. Now this ring is a Junior Mechanics ring. It is most likely brass, probably from the 60s or the 50s. It could be older. I've got to clean it up a little bit more, but still cool find. Found another dog tag, tax tag, from Mason County, 1917. This is the second one I found from 1917. And if you look on there, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the writing on there. It's a dog tax tag, 1917. I know it's kind of reversed for you, but you see that. Found this cool token from 1922, and this is a Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh Railway token from 1922. So as you can see, I thought, man, it's script. But it was a token, so it's just as cool to find things like that. Buffalo nickels, I found two buffalo nickels. So I don't know if you can see the little buffalo on the back. And I wanted to show you kind of how I clean these things. Now, I follow the Bo Ouimet and Aqua Chigger school of thought on, he's also known as Aqua Chigger on YouTube. Look him up. If you're not following him, follow him. And what I do is now a lot of people will use toothpicks. Now I kind of use my daughter's old popsicle sticks. And what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll take a coin like this, and I'm just basically gently rubbing. What I'm doing is just knocking off the dirt so that you can see the coin. I'm not putting anything on it. I have in the past cleaned it with a little bit of olive oil. I've used olive oil to preserve things that were very fragile, but you know, I'm looking at I'm looking at different schools of thought, and this is where I'm at with this. And then sometimes I will take a very, now you can see this brush is very soft and it's been used a lot, but I'll just brush some of the dirt off, you know, and maybe put a little bit of my saliva on there, not much, if anything, and then like Bo was saying, you take a little bit of the oil off of your face and you dab it on there, and voila, you can see the buffalo a lot better. And look, it doesn't damage that coin. So when you're out there looking for coins, remember that. You know, once you take it off, you can't put it back. And I think that was a great lesson that Bo did on his YouTube channel on how to clean coins. Same thing with this 1897. And basically, I just rubbed this thing just a little bit, lightly rubbed it. But yeah, you can see the Indian head on there. So that's an Indian head penny. I found 2 Indian head pennies here in this park. Everybody thinks there's nothing in a park, there's nothing but junk. Yes, you find a lot of junk, but you can also find cool things. And it's a public area, and you don't have to worry about getting in trouble. You just have to fill your holes, folks. Always fill your holes, because then if not, then they'll put a ban on this thing, and you won't be able to do it anymore. So the other things I found 2 Mercury dimes, which those are always cool to find. And again, I just clean these off with a little bit of brushing, and they're silver, and they're from the 1930s, 1932, and 1935. A very cool find. I found a 1945 war nickel that has silver in it, marked with the P. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wheat pennies. I'm not going to go into those, but a couple of them were kind of old. 1916 was one, and 1915 was another. So that was cool to find that. And then I found this steel button, or this metal button, which those are kind of not too common to find. So this is, you know, from the 1920s, 1930s, maybe even the 19-teens. But it's cool. It's a piece of history. And then I found, whoever lost this thing says, "I love Dave." If you lost this, then I'll give it to you. I do have a friend whose name is Dave. I think I'll give it to his wife, and she can give it to him. So that will be kind of a cool little gift. But it's not that old, but I just thought it was so funny to dig this up. Somebody wore this around their neck. They love somebody named Dave, you know, back in the 60s or early 70s. And that's kind of the era that came from. So found a West Virginia token, lottery token that they use, and I found some kind of an aluminum tag. There's no writing on it. I'm going to say that they came off of a probably a train or a gas well of some sort. And again, hauled a lot of junk out. Dug this up. This is a piece of something. It's some kind of a piece of metal. It's got ridges on it. This was the end of either a motorcycle throttle or a bicycle brake. Lots of pop tabs. They show up like they're coins, and it's very disappointing when you dig them up. But you got to dig them, because this showed up like a pop tab as well. And I found another ring that is a ruby ring, and it was silver with a ruby stone in it. So it was cool to find that, and it showed up like a pop tab. So dig, dig, dig. That is how you make it happen. So that was going over the finds, and thank you for watching. And this is James McCormick with Digging History saying God bless you and have a great day.